welcome back. Welcome to the Prime B Masters 2023, a tournament like no other. And I'm here with Mr. Don Young, aka better known as Mr. Golf. Mr. Golf, he's a graduate of Mississippi State. He's a civil engineer in the 14th Engineering Squadron. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Mr. Johnson?
Just great,
Good.
great. First question.
All right.
How did you and your team prepare for this tournament coming up?
Well, that's interesting that you asked. So I've been encouraging the guys to, get out, go to the driving range, play a little bit, hit some balls. I have a net at the house and a mat to hit off of, and I've been doing a little bit of that myself, but my team members, for the most part, have not really done anything.
Oh.
And one of the team members is a very new golfer, so I directed him to an instructional book. I've been talking to him for a couple of months now about reading the book and studying and getting ready. I hate to say it, but he has not done anything yet. So if it seems like my back is a little weak right now, it's because I've been really having to carry these guys.
Well, that's the reason you have Mr. Golf.
Yeah, well, you know, but the burden is getting heavy.
The burden is getting heavy.
It is.
So in this front nine, how do you think you all fare in this?
I think right now we're probably about the middle of the pack. So we're hoping, we've got 7 more holes to play, and we're hoping that in those 7 holes that we can step it up a little bit and get a few more strokes below par.
Below par.
Yeah.
What are you standing now?
5 under.
5 under.
5 under.
5 under.
Yep, 5 under.
Okay.
Yep.
Then. Yeah. Seems
So through 14 holes, we're 5 under. So not too bad, but we need to do a little better. So.
Okay then.
All right, wait a minute. That's through 12 holes.
12 holes.
12 holes. Yeah, 12 holes. So we got.
So what do you think your team's biggest strength is? The long game or the short game?
Well, our drives have been pretty well. So we on every hole we've had at least one good drive to play from on every hole. So we haven't had to worry too much about our drives. Our chipping has not been very well. We've hit our irons pretty well, and we've putted pretty well.
Okay.
But our chip shots have not been very good.
So how do you compare this Masters compared to the last Masters in your performance?
I think we're performing a little better this year. We may not be scoring quite as well, but the way our golf looks is better. And I will have to say that the course is in better shape this year than it was last year. It's in much better shape.
Well, credit to Green Oaks for getting the course where it is.
That's right. Yep. It is.
This King Carter hype that's going around, what do you think of that?
Well, let me just say one thing about the King Carter thing.
The King Carter.
So over here on hole number 10, number 10 is a par 5.
Par 5.
And that's where they measure the longest drive. And we came to hole number 10 with a little more than half the teams have already passed through 10. So they've already played it when we got there. And, I pulled out Big Boy, teed up, and let it go.
Grip it and rip it.
I gripped it and ripped it, kind of John Daly style.
Yes, sir.
And it kind of really looked very similar to what a John Daly drive would look like, as far as the shape of the ball and how it went out and turned back into the middle of the fairway.
Right.
Hit by the sign and just kept rolling. Kept rolling. Way on past the sign. So I humbly walked up to the sign and picked it up to move it up to where my ball was. And I noticed that King Carter, his name was at the bottom of the list.
that right?
Yeah, and I had to move it on down the fairway about 20 or 30 more yards because I just kind of, you know, sailed on past him.
Well, I'm sure you.
So that's kind of what I think about Mr. King Carter.
Well, I'm
My
sure
ball
you-
just waves at his little sign
Right.
when it goes by.
Well, okay then. On that note,
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate your interview.
Thank you.
All right then. Take care.